So I can't make this up. I mean, Anthony Noto keeps buying more shares to the point where I was just making a video on the last share purchase that he bought, and he bought more today. So super excited. Let's go in and actually talk about how many shares this man is buying. I actually created a spreadsheet here and we can go over this. And what you can see here is that in this section, in the unbolded section, these are the purchases that he made back in March. This is his own money. These are not stock options, okay? Now, that obviously was an insane amount of purchases, like practically day after day, just going through the weeks. He was buying a ton, okay? Now, he skipped April, now in May, now he believes that we've hit bottom, and he's continuing to buy massive amount of purchases, actually purchasing today as of, the 20th of May, as of the time of recording this video. And what you can see here, I've actually changed this script a little bit up in the top. So what you can see here is in the recent, he's purchased around $556,000 just in the last couple days, like 7 days. It's ridiculous. Just right above that, you can see in the total chart, just in the past 2 months, he's purchased just around $1.75 million worth of shares. This is US dollars. And then the total value of his entire holdings of SoFi is standing just a little over $24 million there, right at the top. And his total amount of shares, 3.23 million. And this is factoring in the 212,000 new shares that he's purchased, which is just, on the total chart that I'm showing you here. Now, that makes up for 7% of his portfolio is how much he's just increased in the last 2 months, okay? And now this is super important because everyone wants to talk about how, Anthony Noto's worth over $100 million, right? Like, why isn't he buying more? Why is it only $1.7 million? But you have to realize that most of his money is tied up in, SoFi stock, Twitter stock, and real estate. He's not going to be selling his Twitter stock right now, especially if Elon is on the brink of purchasing it, whether he does or not. I mean, he's still going to be holding his shares for, if that actually comes true, he'd rather get a higher price from Elon buying his shares rather than selling it to the general public. After he actually gets taxed at that 48% rate from California, which is the highest tax state in the entirety of America, he actually gets to walk out with $730,000. So you're saying that out of his annual income, of net income taking home is $730,000 a year, he's bought in the last 2 months $1.75 million. This is a dip buyer right now, okay? He is absolutely DCAing into his own company right now because he's a big believer in what we have going on. You know what? This is showing so much confidence because if he didn't think that the numbers for SoFi in Q2 weren't blowing away expectations, he wouldn't be buying the extra shares. I mean, the additional, 1.7 million is not needed on the already $22 million account that he already has. So this is trying to maximize his profits in the long run. And I'm a sucker for watching him buy this. I'm absolutely buying along with him. But the main part of this is that we have to understand is Anthony Noto is dollar cost averaging into his own company right now, okay? It's so important because we don't know when the bottom is going to be. Whenever the price is up to $7.50, I see it everywhere. I should have bought more at $5 a share. Okay, I get it. But you should have been buying on the way down. Like you never know. You can't always just say that the stock is going to go lower just because you think so, because we never know when it's going to turn around. So you just have to buy all the way down, trust the system that it's going to come back if it's a company that you've done your due diligence on and that you truly believe in. That's not financial advice. I'm not telling you to pour into SoFi, but I'm telling you to believe in the stocks that you believe in. To be honest, I actually got this stock at the lowest of $5.11. Now, the lowest absolute price that you could have got it was $4.82, but at the time that I actually bought it, the stock market was halted for 6 hours. That's because they actually released their earnings results early, okay? They released it early. It was a big mistake, whatever. The stock got halted, and then I actually put my order through, and it was pending until it reopened. I maybe even bought more than I should have to be safe, but you know what? I saw that earnings report. I saw management increased 2022 guidance, and I just poured in. You know what? And it's so funny because institutions are like, yeah, but Q2 might be bad. Like, who cares about Q2 if the full year is going to be even better than they expected? I don't care whether the growth comes in Q2, Q3, or Q4. It doesn't matter as long as in the overall range that we're going to be growing faster than what we originally expected. See, that's the thing, right? Is that everyone talks about SoFi and they're like, oh, okay, but is the, member growth going to be 300,000 this quarter or 800,000 this quarter? And that's good for buying the dip or getting a lower cost than what you originally suspected. But if you're already holding, it doesn't matter, okay? What you need to understand is whether it's 3 or 5 years out, how many members are we going to have? 7 million members, 8, 9 million members in 5 years? So that's the real important thing. How do you value the company that far out? And are you going to make a significant amount more money than what you're holding at today? And at a price to sales ratio today of around 5, I mean, we are going to blow it out of the water. I actually want to jump back into this spreadsheet. I just want to show you one more thing. So this is CEO Anthony Noto's page, but I also added in one more because this was another recent purchase from an insider. This is Harvey Schwartz. Schwartz, okay? He's an American businessman, big investor in SoFi, always has been. But most recently, he actually just bought on, May 13th, he bought another 15,000 shares at $6.50. So, I mean, he's a rich guy. He found another $100,000 between his couch cushions, and, he decided to put it into SoFi stock. And this is the actual order right here. You can see that down here, how to actually read these. If you go on the SEC filings, you can actually read these. These are how I'm actually getting this information. You can see that he purchased common shares for, the date on May 13th, which is a purchase of 15,000 shares, which he acquired for $6.50. And his total amount that he has, which he's being disclosing, is 230,000 shares. Now, his last dump into SoFi was actually in March, where he actually bought $500,000 worth. I'm sure he would have wished to have purchased that much at this price range, but I mean, even Harvey Schwartz makes a little mistake buying on the way down, but that's what DCAing is, right? That's why it's so important. You don't dump all 500,000 in at one time. You actually should be putting, 100,000 in every single week. I mean, obviously not everyone, but if you're the Harvey Schwartz of the world, these hedge fund owners, these, the ultra, high net worth, put as much as you can in over the course of time, so then you actually know how to time these things. Or if you're a true believer, something like this, just pour your money in and relax, however you guys want to do it. The key takeaway, and the reason why I'm tracking insider buyings, is because Anthony Noto knows more about this company than I do, okay? Although he can't actually do insider trading, and he'll even tell you in interviews that don't look into his purchases, he's just purchasing it because he has extra liquidity. I don't actually believe it, okay? That's keeping away the SEC from saying that you have insider trading. You don't want to say anything that you can't actually disclose. But in the same interview that he actually said that, he also said that we had 3.7 million members when the actual disclosed amount was only 3.5 million. So he knows more about this company, whether it's his subconscious or his conscious that's actually making the insider trading decisions. He knows that the company is doing well, and that's why he's continuing to pour more and more money, because he knows that the future business, the business that's not disclosed yet, is doing well. If he was doing crappy and he knew the stock was going to continue to fall, based on something that's actually coming up, maybe they lost a bunch of Galileo clients or something like this, would he actually continue to pour in this much money on a stock that he knows eventually is going to go down? No, right? Although he can't actually disclose that what he's doing is illegal, it's actually, you should look into it. It's important to look into insider trading. Even institutional buyers look into this because it's important, because although Anthony Noto won't tell you what he's seeing something, right? He's not going to lose his own money. There's so many things happening with this company, things that I don't have enough time to actually explain in this video. But you can go ahead and check out my other video where I explain that SoFi is actually expanding into Singapore. But if you like this current video, what I would really appreciate is a like and subscribe down below if you want to see more financial content just like this.